AI isn't going to replace office workers in one dramatic moment. It's going to do something quieter and honestly more dangerous. It's going to make office work worth less money. Because most people are watching for layoffs. They're waiting for the headline that says your job is gone. But pay doesn't collapse like that. It erodes, it freezes, it gets negotiated down while you're still employed and still busy. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact wage pattern AI triggers in office work, the 3 stages that hit before anyone gets replaced. And by the end, you'll be able to tell whether you're already in stage 1 even if nothing looks wrong yet. So as you watch, keep one question in your head. If my company could get my output for cheaper, would they? That's the real future, not replacement, leverage. We're trained to think in binaries, employed or unemployed, safe or replaced, promotion or fired. But that's how markets work. Markets don't flip, markets squeeze. And office work is especially vulnerable to wage squeeze because so much of it is digital, repeatable and measurable. It's email, documents, spreadsheets, slides, coordination, reporting, summarizing, scheduling. Work that feels complex day to day but is made up of tasks AI learns early. And here's the twist. The better you are at producing office output fast, the faster the expectations rise and the easier it becomes for companies to say, why are we paying this much for that? AI doesn't walk into an office and take someone's title, it takes pieces of the job. A job is a bundle of tasks. If AI can do 40% of those tasks, then suddenly a manager can ask, do we still need a full-time person for this, or do we need one person to supervise 3 AI-assisted workflows? This is why the pay shift comes first, because you don't need to fire anyone to reduce wages, you just change how scarce the output is. And wages at the end of the day are tied to scarcity. If your output becomes abundant, your pay becomes negotiable. So what does that look like in real life? There are 3 stages. If you spot them early, you can react early. If you spot them late, you'll feel like the market randomly changed. Stage 1 is where nothing bad happens, and that's why people miss it. AI gets introduced as productivity software. People start using it to draft emails, write summaries, generate first drafts, clean up documents, brainstorm ideas, format spreadsheets, and rewrite text. And then quietly, the definition of normal output changes. What took you 2 days is now expected in 1. What took a morning is now expected by lunch, and because the work is happening faster, the company's instinct isn't to pay more, it's to expect more. This is the first wage squeeze, not a pay cut, but a pay freeze disguised as productivity. You're producing more value, but the salary stays the same. And when inflation exists, a flat salary is effectively a pay cut. If your workload has increased but your pay hasn't, the word efficiency is appearing more, and you might already be in stage 1. Stage 2 is where the market shifts without anyone announcing it. Companies don't fire anyone, they simply stop hiring. One person plus AI starts doing what 2 people did. So the next time someone leaves, the role doesn't get replaced, or it gets replaced by a low salary band, or it gets replaced offshore, or it becomes a contract role. This is where you start seeing fewer openings, slower promotions, competitive salary language, longer hiring processes, more applicants per role, and higher output demanded for the same pay. And here's the psychological trap. People assume the problem is them. They think, I need to work harder, but the real problem is bargaining power. If there are fewer seats, employers set their terms. This is the part when you can still feel employed and fine while your negotiating power quietly disappears. That's why it's dangerous. Stage 3 is when the job changes shape. AI drafts, AI suggests, AI summarizes, AI writes, AI prepares, and you just approve. At first, that feels safe because you're still needed, but approval work is the most compressible work of all, because companies ask, how many people do we need to approve what AI produces? That's when the salary falls sharply, because the role gets reframed from specialist to oversight, and oversight doesn't pay like creation. Oversight pays like risk management, lower headcount, higher pressure, and fewer well-paid positions. This is when office jobs don't disappear becomes true in the worst way. The job still exists, it just pays less and demands more. That's the future most people aren't ready for. Not job loss, job downgrade. Office work sits right in the AI sweet spot. It's digital, it's language heavy, it's template driven, it's measurable, and it's often move information, reformat, and then send. And it's everywhere, so that effect scales fast. If AI makes each office worker 30% more productive, companies Companies don't pay everyone 30% more, they keep a similar number of workers and pressure the pay of the rest. That's not consistency, that's normal market behavior. So the question becomes, how do you stop yourself becoming abundant output? 2 moves, and they're not motivational, they're structural. Move 1, shift your value from tasks to outcomes. If your job is make slides, that's a task. If your job is own the decision those slides lead to, that's an outcome. Tasks get automated, outcomes get protected. Start tying your work to measurable impact. Revenue, cost savings, risk reduction, retention, conversion, quality, speed to market. Outcomes are expensive to get wrong. That's why they keep paying humans to own them. Move 2. Become the person who drives the AI leverage. Not I use AI sometimes, I mean, you become the person who can say, give me a workflow and I'll make it faster and cleaner with AI without lowering quality. That turns you from cost into a multiplier, and multipliers keep bargaining power longer. Because the truth is, companies don't reward effort, they reward leverage. AI increases leverage, so you want to be the person holding it. And if you do nothing, here's what happens. Your pay doesn't collapse tomorrow, it simply stops rising while the expectations keep rising. And that's how people wake up in 3 years feeling like their career shrank without them noticing. So no, office workers won't disappear overnight, they'll shrink, compress, downgrade and pay less because AI makes the output less scarce. The people who lose aren't always the least skilled. They're the ones whose values stay trapped in tasks that AI learned early. If you want some clarity, comment down below your specific job role and I'll give you a rough estimate time of how long you have got until AI can fully take over your role, and also I'll let you know how you can go forward to be able to reduce the chances of that happening. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for everything AI. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.